Hello and welcome to Daily Presence Practice. Here we take up MCQs based on important articles and news from the Hindu and the Indian Express newspaper. Topics which we are going to cover today are displayed on your screen. Let's begin the discussion. Now let's start our session with the first question which is based on this article, and this article appeared on page 18 in the Indian Express. According to this article, protesting against the expunction of part of a speech on the motion of thanks on the president's address, leader of opposition in Rajya Sabha and Congress president has argued that as per Article 105 of the Indian Constitution, MPs have freedom of speech and that he did not make any personal allegations in the House. Now, as UPSC has been asking questions based on various facts and procedural tools related to the Parliament of India, as in 2020, it has asked questions based on constitutional provisions related to the working of the Parliament. So here we have taken a practice question based on similar lines. So the first statement is Constitution does not extend parliamentary privileges to the President of India. Second statement is as per the Constitution, immunity under parliamentary privileges does not extend to any non-member. Now, here we can refer to the original text of the Constitution. Now, as we know, Article 105 of the Constitution deals with the parliamentary privileges. Now, subclause 4 says that provisions of clauses 1, 2, and 3 shall apply in relation to persons who, by virtue of this Constitution, have the right to speak in and otherwise to take part in the proceedings of the House of Parliament or any committee, which means that Constitution has also extended the parliamentary privileges to those who are entitled to speak and take part in the proceedings of a House of Parliament or any of its committees. These include the Attorney General of India and Union Ministers, who may not be the member of the House. So, with this, our second statement is incorrect. Also, it must be clarified here that parliamentary privileges do not extend to the President, who is also an integral part of the Parliament, as he does not take part in the parliamentary proceedings. So, first statement is correct. Now, as you can see, subclause 3, Parliament is entrusted with the task of defining privileges and immunities to the members of the Parliament. It should be noted here that the Parliament till now has not made any special law to exhaustively codify all the privileges. So, with this, our third statement is correct. Also, you should know that parliamentary privileges are based on 5 sources. First is constitutional provisions, second is various laws made by Parliament, third is rules of both the houses, fourth is parliamentary conventions, and the last one is judicial interpretations. So, with this, our correct answer is option C, that is 1 and 3 only. Answer of this PYQ is option C. Now let's come to the next question. In this question, you have to identify correct statements with reference to the giant meter wave radio telescope. Now, as you know that UPSC has been asking questions based on recent technological advancement, like in 2019 they have asked question based on black holes. So such technological advancement is important for your UPSC prelims examination. So let's come to the first statement. It is a 30-meter large telescope located on Mauna Kea, Hawaii. Now this statement is incorrect as it is located in Pune and it is an array of 30 fully steerable parabolic radio telescopes of 45-meter diameter, observing at meter wavelengths. It was built and being operated by the National Center for Radio Astrophysics of the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research. Now let's come to the second statement. The first evidence for a merger in fast radio burst host was detected using GMRT. Now, to find out whether this statement is right or wrong, you should know what is fast radio burst. These are transient bright pulses of emission from distant galaxies at radio wavelengths whose bursts last at most for a few milliseconds. So, astronomers have used the giant meter wave radio telescope to map the distribution of atomic hydrogen gas from the galaxy hosting a fast radio burst for the first time, revealing important clues on the origin of the burst. So, with this, our second statement is correct. So here our correct answer is option B, that is 2 only. Answer of this PYQ is option B. Now, why we have taken this question on GMRT? Because there is an article on page 11 in the Indian Express, and according to this article, Pune-Nasik high-speed rail project could jeopardize the operations of the giant meter wave radio telescope, the world's largest radio telescope near Pune. Now our next question is based on this article which appeared on page number 10 in the Hindu newspaper. Now the context of this article is that World Bank has approved $1 billion IBRD loans from Pradhan Mantri Ayushman Bharat Infrastructure Mission. Now, as you know, UPSC has been asking questions based on important initiatives by government, like this question based on Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission came in 2022. So here we have taken practice question based on Pradhan Mantri Ayushman Bharat Health Infrastructure Mission, and in this you have to identify correct statements. So the first statement is it was launched to fill gaps in health infrastructure, especially in critical and primary care facilities. Now, Pradhan Mantri Ayushman Bharat Health Infrastructure Mission was launched in year 2021 by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare to develop the capacities of primary, secondary and tertiary care health system. Also to strengthen existing national institutions and create new institutions to cater to detection and cure of new and emerging diseases. So with this, our first statement is correct. Now let's come to the second statement. It aims to establish critical care hospital blocks in all districts of India with a population of more than 1 lakh. Now this statement is incorrect, as it aims to establish critical care hospital blocks in all districts but with a population of more than 5 lakhs. Now let's come to the third statement. It envisages to set up a digital research platform for Asia Pacific region. Now, it envisages to set up a digital research platform but for Southeast Asia region. So third statement is incorrect. So here our correct answer is option A, that is 1 only. Answer of this PYQ is option B. Now our next question is based on this article, and according to this article, in the 0 hour of the Lok Sabha, BJP MP from Delhi has accused the Delhi government for allegedly tapping his phone. While the issue of phone tapping is not important from the perspective of UPSC exam, but devices of parliamentary procedures hold significance from the perspective of the UPSC examination. As one can see here, UPSC has asked questions based on devices of parliamentary procedures in 2017. So let's take up the practice question. In this, you have to identify correct statements with reference to devices of parliamentary procedure. The first statement is question R of the parliamentary proceeding is exclusively reserved for the questions for ministers. Now, the first hour of every parliamentary sitting is slotted for question R. During this time, the member asks questions and the ministers usually give answers. In addition to the ministers, the question can also be asked to the private members. So our first statement is incorrect, as it is not exclusively reserved for the ministers. Now let's come to the second statement. 0R is a formal device available to the members of parliament to raise matters by giving prior notice. Now 0R starts immediately after question hour and lasts until the agenda for the day is taken up. Unlike the question hour, 0R is not mentioned in rules of procedure. It is an Indian innovation in the field of parliamentary procedure and has been in existence since 1962. Thus, it is an informal device available to the members of parliament to raise matters without giving prior notice. So our second statement is incorrect. So here our correct answer is option D, neither 1 nor 2. Answer of this PYQ is option D. Our next question is based on this article, and this article appeared on page number 9 in the Hindu newspaper. Context of this article is that Animal Welfare Board has withdrawn its appeal urging people to celebrate 14 February as Cow Hug Day. Now, context of this article is not relevant for your UPSC prelims examination. But as UPSC has been asking questions based on important statutory bodies, like this question came in 2014. So here we have taken up practice question based on same theme. So question says, with respect to Animal Welfare Board of India, consider the following statements, and in this you have to identify correct statements. So the first statement is, it was established in accordance with the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Now, Animal Welfare Board of India is a statutory advisory body on animal welfare laws. It was established in 1962 under Section 4 of the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act 1960. Now let's come to the second statement. It is functioned under the aegis of the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Now this statement is incorrect as currently it is functioning under the aegis of Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying. Earlier it was under Ministry of Environment. So here our correct answer is option D, neither 1 nor 2. Answer of this PYQ is option B. Now, as UPSC has been asking questions based on energy based resources, like this question based on coal came in year 2018. So here we have curated practice question based on lithium. So in this question you have to identify correct statement. The first statement is, continent of South America holds the largest reserve of known lithium metal. Now with this image you can see that Bolivia is home to the world's largest lithium reserve. It is a 1/3 of lithium triangle in South America, which also comprises second and third place Argentina and Chile. So with this, our first statement is correct. Second statement is, brine lithium resources are more abundant across the globe. Now in this picture, you can see that green color is for brine lithium resources. So brine deposits are the most common, accounting for more than half of world lithium resources. So with this, our second statement is also correct. Third statement is, India has discovered a large segment of lithium reserve in new alluvial deposits of northern plain. Now this statement is incorrect, as according to this article, in India the first major discovery was made in Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir and it was 5.9 million tons. So with this, our third statement is incorrect. So our answer is option A, that is 1 and 2 only. Answer of this PYQ is option D. That's all for today. Stay tuned for more such updates.